Great. And welcome into the Buffalo Wild Wings Coaches Show as we get to set up and sit down with all of our coaches from SFA Athletics, and we'll kick things off right now with head coach of the football team, head coach Colby Carthel. Coach, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Chase.
Yeah!
We're doing good now.
Now
we're up and running.
We're up and running.
Nothing like a few technical difficulties, as we call them in football, turnovers. But we're going to work through that and find a way to be successful.
Well, like you said, all good to go. And so, talked about a little bit about football. I actually want to jump back a couple weeks now. I want to jump into that game against Nichols. Took until Sunday to finish that matchup. Jacks ended up being relentless in that game, no matter how late of a start it ended up being. And the one thing that really stood out to me, the SFA sideline really kind of a bring your own juice kind of situation where the sideline, no matter what, was hype, whether it was kickoff at 6 or kicking back off at midnight. Tell us a little bit about the sideline and that energy.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. It took us 2 days, but we finally beat them. And the first half, second half, and third half there. Third half about 1 a.m. So at that point in time, there was a few proud members of the Purple Haze still there. Cheer and dance were there. The team was there, maybe a few parents, and that was about it. It was an awkward feeling. And I wouldn't have been there either if I was a fan or a student or anything like that. But it was an empty stadium after a 6.5 hour, 7 hour game. But the sideline was awesome. We actually have a bunch of, we call the Juice Crew, and they're guys that aren't, quite in the depth chart or suit up or travel. And they did an awesome job. And we did have some great energy there on the sideline all the way through. And you could see when we came out after halftime, and then again after that second rain delay, I mean, we were stretching and we were hooping and hollering, and guys were. I wasn't. I was excited, but they were bouncing around. And here came Nichols. Boy, they were just, do we have to come back out here? And so you can kind of tell a lot about a team at that point in time. And so that ended up, I think, boding well for the Lumberjacks. And we were able to put those guys away, have some fun, and win a memorable game. That's what we told the guys. You're going to remember this one because it's different. And that's not everybody gets to play a game on 2 different calendar dates and play a 7-hour football game. But the Lumberjacks did that night, had a lot of fun in the locker room and making memories during those breaks, and then more importantly, got that big W.
And now you move on from that game. You get to go on to Commerce, Texas, and last Saturday, a little bit of a homecoming of sorts for you back in Commerce. The Jacks did something against East Texas A&M that had not been in some time, and that was take down the Lions in Commerce. First off, your thoughts on the team's effort in that battle. Definitely had, like you talked about earlier, the fair share of adversity, and then your emotions on returning to the place that obviously holds a special place in your personal and professional career.
Yeah, it was homecoming. They scheduled us for homecoming, so that got the guys fired up. But I was really pleased with how our guys went up there and handled the game. We played probably our best game offensively in terms of offensive production and just moving the ball up down the field. We had 4 drives of 10 plays or more. We absolutely dominated total yards, dominated time of possession. We had the ball 15 minutes more than they did. That's a whole quarter. And so did some really good things there. What was not good was the turnovers and turnover margin. That's a team stat. Everybody wants to point to the 4 on offense. We did a terrible job on defense, only creating 1 turnover. And that team that we were playing, that was the worst team we faced all year in terms of their ball security, fumbling, turning the ball over, and for us to only come away with 1 is not our standard. Giving up 21 points is not our standard. And we settled down, give up two touchdowns there in those first 3 drives, I believe it was. And then after that, the defense did settle down and play much better and gave up 7 more points. That was on a 13-yard drive. But even that, we've got to go out there and be able to be unbreakable and have some 4-point wins or create turnovers or stops, and weren't able to do that. But controlled the line of scrimmage, controlled the total yards, the time of possession. We played really good team football, which almost great team football, which allowed us to have a chance to win that game. Being down at the time, it's -4 turnover margin, and we were still up, by 7 points, and we had that interception. I'm like, I hadn't seen many games go like that and still come out on top. So good for us. And the thing I hit on earlier is the poise, the composure that our team had. There was no internal finger pointing, nobody getting down. And even right there to start the fourth quarter, we had another turnover in the return and the touchdown. It's 21-21. And they're kicking off. And I had a coach come up and he said, I don't know how this game's going to end, but we're definitely kicking their tail and sideline. Your first question, we busted the juice crew up there, 10 guys, and not just them, just the whole sideline was into the game. They were behind each other. They were, it looked like it was our homecoming, not theirs. It just looked, and it's a 21-21 ball game.
Yeah.
And I think that energy, bodes well, and the guys, stayed confident, stayed poised, and won a game, because we're going to play in closer games. We're going to be behind. If you're fortunate enough to play on the playoffs, I mean, competition gets pretty stiff, and you can't throw in the towel and point fingers and fall apart, melt when things don't go your way or you have turnovers or adversity. So that was really good to see. In terms of going back there, it was just it's another game. We had a lot of memories on that field, and that was another time. But I did enjoy. A lot of former players came by the hotel the night before. Got to see about 40, 50 of them there before the game, and so there were several of them that came up to go win. It was nice to hear them rooting for the Lumberjacks. I probably shouldn't say that on here, but it was great to see them and all those guys that we had so many memories together and won so many championships and had unique moments. But that's not what life's about. That's just a moment in their time, in their life, and to see them where they are now, meet some of their families and their wives, and spend time with them to see what kind of impact they're having on society. That's pretty special. That's what coach is all about.
And yeah, I mean, absolutely. But in that game also, your offense delivered 4 scoring drives of 10+ plays. Overall, throughout the season, you guys produced 6 scoring drives over 10+ plays through the first 7 games. Talk a little bit about that effort in that sense of those drives.
So is that good or bad that we've only had 7 up to that point?
You're controlling the ball, so I think it's good in situations of the game.
Yeah, but the point I was trying to make is previously, we don't have a lot of those drives. Most scoring drives are not that way. You've got to have explosive plays, usually 2 explosive plays to equal points. And our offense has been very, very productive all year, averaging 34 points a game or whatever it is. And we've got some explosive players. So very seldom do we get a chance because of those explosive plays to just put together methodical drives like we were able to Saturday. And so part of that was where the game was, kind of what the game plan was. And sometimes you have a great game plan. Other team has coaches too. And so the way they tried to attack us and defend us, we had to run the ball a little bit more RPO than what you're used to. And so we were able to put together some good drives and churn out some, we outrushed them by 150-something yards. We lost a few on a intentional grounding penalty, but really just control both lines of scrimmage. And that allowed us to, hold the ball, possess the ball 37 minutes of that game, and they had it for 22. And so when you're -3 in the turnover ratio, that means 3 of those drives, you're just giving it right back to them. But because we were able to hang on the ball and play good team football, still gives you a great chance to win. And, our defense is playing well, and they're one of the better defenses around so far. Season ain't over, but through 9 weeks of the football season, they're doing some good things against the run, held them to 10 yards rushing. And, when you make a team one-dimensional, it usually bodes well for you.
And speaking of the defense, one of the top defenses in the country, rush defense, total defense. Talk about the connection that unit has with each other and how much that success has resulted because of veteran leadership on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I think it begins and ends, up front. We knew we had a veteran ball club coming back. Up front, a lot of those guys made a commitment to stay and shout out to everybody who's chipped in, whether it's $15 or $1,500. Everybody kind of passed the hat last year, and we're able to help some of these guys. And ain't none of them, buying new cars or buying houses or putting money back by any means, but retain and reward, that's our motto. And we were able to do that with some tremendous players, a lot of them seniors. And that's the first question that's asked me every Saturday. You know, we'll go out there and I shake a head coach's hand before the game, like, how'd you get those guys to stay? You know, and Lumberjack Nation got those guys to stay, and the culture here in our locker room, the culture on campus, you know, this community, all that, you know, boats, all that helps you play championship defense because those guys stay, because of all those factors mentioned. It's not all about, you know, the dollars or anything like that. That does help play into it, but it's also the school, the community, you know, the town of Nacogdoches. Something happened to my mic. I can't hear my headset anymore. There you go. And so we've been able to retain, back to your question, you know, it is a senior laden bunch, and those guys up front are doing really, really well, stopping the run. And, you know, it is year 3 in our defense now with Coach Moos and his staff. The defensive staff has stayed pretty much intact year over year. And so when you're able to do that and have some consistency, you're able to be pretty effective and play some high-level defense.
And going back to the offensive side, speaking of explosive players, in Kylan Harris, he had a record night, setting a single program record of 16 total catches. But it's not just Kylan. We know he's great, but you have those older veteran players sticking around to the finish. And you talk about that being rare in college these days. How does that continue to, like, what are you talking to your players about, and how do you continue to get them to stay, kind of recruitment-wise?
You know, I don't think there's anything you can just say to make them stay. It's got to be organic. It's got to be again, but you know, it's not the locker room. I promise you that. You know, it's the people in the locker room. And you mentioned it's been a long time since we won up there at Commerce. I didn't know this till after the game. Paul told me it's the first time we'd beaten, you know, East Texas A&M in Commerce since 1973. You know, and that was ironically the same year our field house was built, you know, 52 years ago. And so I don't know, maybe we should celebrate and build a new one. But anyway, back to the point at hand. You know, it's not about the facilities or anything like that, and it's not anything I'm doing. It's those players, it's the culture within the team. And it's just a bunch of guys just looking around each other and saying, hey, I enjoy playing for you, I enjoy playing here, I love this school, I want to graduate here, I want to finish here. And then we're able to help them out a little bit, you know, again, with support from our donors, our boosters, our alumni. And again, that comes in all different phases, but all of it ties in together. But it's not any speech I give in front of the team, and it's not you know, a dollar amount, it's not a facility, it's everything combined. I think creates a special place. There's a lot of people that are jumping in the portal looking for what we have here, and that's culture and a team and a program, and that is so hard to find anymore. I mean, you saw today, you know, a guy got fired at Louisiana State University, and they're paying him $53 million not to coach. And why are they losing those games? I think you read about it, it's because of the culture, and I'm not, but you hear what the players are saying and where that is, and what we've got here is unique, and it's you know, fun to be a part of, and it's the reason we're all here.
And now you get to step up and you get to face off against UTRGV, the program that, you know, brand new to football. What are some areas that you are expecting them to come in? And you talk about NIL, you talk about, you know, it wasn't really a slow start for UTRGV. So what are some of the areas that you're looking forward to, but at the same time you're being cautious about?
Well, it's a top 25 matchup, and it's not their first year of football, it's their third year of football. And that's a place down there that cares about athletics. Got a really, you know, great support system. They've got the highest student athlete fee in the UT system. And we're sitting here, you're fixing to talk to soccer and some other coaches, and we don't have a single dollar in our athletic fee at SFA. There's not one. I mean, no, that's why it's not funny. But we don't have an athletic fee. And so, therefore, you know, we're behind the 8 ball, and those guys are ahead. And so, speaking of football in general, those guys have had 3 years. They've put a great staff together. They've built the team from the ground up, and they're playing high-level football. And everybody, you know, I promise you, there's been 6 teams that circled that game and said, oh, this will be a first-year program. We'll get a good win. And then those 6 teams have lost, and they're number 2 in the country in scoring offense, number I think 2 in passing offense, 5th in rushing offense. I mean, they're unbelievable numbers defensively, same way in the conference. And some people say, well, look, their schedule, they scored a bunch against Sul Ross. But they did. They scored 3 more points than we did against Sul Ross. You look at common opponents, they doubled up UIW 54 to 56 to 28 or something like that. And just, if you look at them just in conference play, they're averaging 35 points a game. And that's playing at Southeast, at Lamar, some really good football teams. And so we're going to have our hands completely full. I think this game comes down to the fourth quarter. Well, we got to have a great crowd. And talk about some great crowd. Their smallest crowd is at UTRG has been 12,477 people. Wow. And we need to have 12,000 plus Saturday night at Homer Bryce. Give ourselves a chance, and they need to make a difference. I know it's education night. We've got some special things going. It's a blackout. It's the day after Halloween, so everybody just hang on that costume, wear it, scare the devil out of them over there on their sideline. But we need a rowdy, ruckus crowd. We need Lumberjack Nation to show out, because this is, they're 26th in the country. I think we're 24th or 25th, 23rd, somewhere along in there. It is going to be a top 25 matchup. Both teams are alive for the playoffs. This is what you want. This is a memorable game, a game that means something, and there's something on the line for both teams in November at Homer Bryce. And so let's get out there, show out, show up.
And I also want to mention, it is a special night inside Homer Bryce Stadium with the Callie Belcher game. Talk to us a little bit about the importance in the program and how much it means to those that get to have the honor of helping remember a legacy of such a special Lumberjack.
Well, it's the greatest honor in our program to wear number 16. That number's been retired, and it's enshrined there in our champions room there in the trophy case, and the players see it every single day. They know the story, they've read about it, they've watched it, they've heard from Callie's teammates every year they come back. Miss Ellen Belcher, she'll be here for the game again, and it's a special moment in a shared bond between guys that are my age and a little older, that played with Callie, that come back. I mean, what a neat group of guys that have stuck so close, and what they went, and losing a friend and a teammate, a brother like they did, and Callie Belcher, and that's one way Callie still lives on. It's through that group and those reunions they get together, and how they continue to share his story, and then we do the same within this program. And so there'll be a Lumberjack that's honored with that. There'll be a pregame meal. I don't even know who it is yet. We'll vote on that later this week. But that's a great honor. And 16 will be on the field there Saturday night. And that player that wears that is usually pretty inspired. There's been some great ones through the years since I've been here, and some great performances. And I expect more of the same come Saturday.
Coach, I'm excited in more ways than one for this matchup on Saturday, but you got anything else for Jack Nation?
Hey, we need your support. We need you out here. We got a really good football team that's getting better each week. Got a chance to, they're playing for something in November. And so it's a top 25 matchup. Come out and let's be loud, be proud, Lumberjacks, and help get us over that finish line on another victory.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach.
Axum Jacks.
Yeah.
Coach Colby Carthel, head coach of the SFA Lumberjacks football program. We'll be right back. You're listening to The Coaches Show on Buffalo Wild Wings on the Lumberjacks Sports Network from Learview.